The City of Ember, The Twilight Saga, Coraline, Maximum Ride, The Chronicles of Vladimir Todd, The Infernal Devices, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, Alex Rider, Percy Jackson and the Olympians. You know these popular young adult titles. What you may not know is that these books, along with many others, have been transformed into graphic novel format. So what is a graphic novel? Simply put, it's a novel in comic strip format. It is characterized by using few words and dynamic illustrations. The reader must use both words and images to put together the plot. In the article, The Truth About Graphic Novels, a format not a genre, the authors state that even as the research piles up on the benefits of these materials, many educators and librarians are reluctant to join the graphic novel love fest. Devices. A lot of parents and educators think of graphic novels as superhero comics, but this is not always the case. Percy Jackson and the Olympians. An easier way of thinking about graphic novels is to understand that graphic novels are not a genre, but a format. Therefore, fiction, nonfiction, and biographies can all be created in the graphic novel format.
Have been transformed into graphic novel format.
It has been well documented that there is a reading proficiency gap between boys and girls. Graphic novels can work as a tool to help engage our male readers.
Novel and comic strip format.
According to some new research, comics and graphic novels are more than just funny books. They have untapped potential to improve literacy among young males. So to talk more about the benefits of comic books in the classroom, we are joined today by Jay Bardilla from Happy Harbor Comics and a local teacher, Stacey Keeler. So thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. So we'll talk about this research a bit, about the fact that it can help young males do better in their classroom. Where did that come from?
I think it's a kind of an outdated piece of information, because I know growing up, when I was reading a kid 35 years ago, I was reading from comics, and a lot of the concepts, ideas, big words and stuff like that, I learned from reading comic books, and so did most of my friends. And even a lot of us learned that from our fathers and grandfathers who've been reading comics since the beginning of the 1900s. So I don't think it's anything new. They've always had an appeal to boys, for sure. And today, with the amount of material and the depth of material that's out there, it's certainly very easy to find something that any boy who might be resistant to reading can get hooked into and start reading on two levels, because it's not just text, it's also visuals.
Graphic novels lure teen boys while retaining the qualities beloved by teen girls. They work for ESL students, teach visual literacy and sequencing, and above all else, they are wildly popular with an adolescent audience. Graphic novels can not only provide an escape into fantasy worlds, they can also teach about nonfiction subjects, people, and historical events. Graphic novels and comics can be used to engage a classroom.
Yeah, this whole idea of comics in the classroom has really started to launch out, and they're actually, the State Board of Education and even nationally, they're starting to look at it. Diamond, which is the primary distributor of comics, has actually created a list that ties in with the Common Core standard, because comics is really where I learned to read. I was dyslexic as a kid, and I had a really hard time reading out of a book, So when I discovered comics when I was about 13, 14, which is usually where kids discover comics, that changed. I think maybe the visuals on the page and the words, the marriage of words and pictures made it possible to understand what I was reading. To be able to read through an entire comic and have, retained every word was a big deal to me. And it's not, through that, I think I started being able to read books.
The truth about graphic novels play an important part in literacy. The authors state that even as the research piles up on the benefits of these materials, the images give an overview of the story. And librarians are reluctant to join the graphic novel love fest. Superhero comics. But this is not always the case. The images reinforce, not replace the language. Graphic novels is to understand that graphic novels are not a genre, but a format. be created in the graphic novel format. And number 5, they can be read over and over and over again. It has been well documented. And to wrap up, if you aren't sure where to start in your graphic novel adventure, check out YALSA's website for lists of great graphic novels.